Cuyahoga County Human Resources Appointments and Equity Committee is now called to order. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Good morning, everyone. It is now 10:08 a.m. Calling the roll. As a reminder to all in attendance, this meeting is being recorded and live streamed on the county's YouTube page. Again, calling the roll. Ms. Turner?
Here.
Mr. Gallagher? Mr. Miller?
Here.
Ms. Conwell?
Present.
Mr. Sweeney?
Present.
You have a quorum.
Thank you. Is there any public comment?
No public comment has been received.
Okay, may I have a motion to approve the minutes from the May 16th meeting?
I so move.
Second.
Miller, move. Second, Sweeney. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Okay. Can you read the first item?
Resolution 2023-0143, adopting various changes to the Cuyahoga County non-bargaining classification plan.
Good morning, Madam Chair. I'm Albert Bouchahine, the Manager of Classification and Compensation for the Personnel Review Commission. Before you, for your consideration, are modifications to the county's non-bargaining classification plan. Changes in departmental operational needs and routine maintenance necessitate the revision of 7 classifications and the deletion of 2 classifications. All the modifications before you were prepared by the PRC staff, who has worked extensively with the HR department to ensure that the county department management staff is aware of the proposed changes. Madam Chair, I want to make a couple things, or bring a couple things to your attention. There are 2 classifications that have pay grade increases, each having 1 incumbent in them. Their salaries both fit within the proposed new pay grade, so there is no fiscal impact based on this change unless the Department of Human Resources feels that it is warranted. Also, you may have noticed that the volunteer coordinator is open to all departments rather than traditionally where it's only been open to the county animal shelter. Back in 2019, we received a request from the department director at the time, Director Douglas Dykes, to remove general references to the animal shelter as the other county departments wanted to have volunteer opportunities. So they wanted to open that up to other departments in case that became needed. Since 2019, we're here in 2023, there's still only 1 employee in that position, that's at the animal shelter. I would like to request, Madam Chair, a second reading suspension of rules for these recommendations as they were scheduled originally to be appear before you 2 weeks ago. There was nothing too time sensitive, so I will leave it to your discretion, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Okay, so you mentioned there would be no fiscal impact currently. How many employees are impacted?
There's 2 classifications that we're recommending pay grades changes for, the manager of fleet services at Public Works and the volunteer coordinator also at Public Works for the animal shelter. There is 1 incumbent in each of those classifications. Both of their current salaries fall within the pay range. So HR has the decision is to either leave them at that current salary, which there will be no fiscal impact, or move them along. That's something that they have their own determination process to make that decision.
Okay, so all the classifications with the proposed modifications include adding a technology section. Is this a new development?
No, Madam Chair, thanks. I appreciate you catching that. We've revised the format of the classifications over the last several years. So there are some classifications that don't include that. And so as we edit them, update them, we're just including them where we don't see them.
Okay, so that would be wherever
Routine.
they aren't currently, they would be.
Correct.
added. Okay, I'll open it up to my colleagues for questions. Councilman Miller?
So could you say a little bit more about this technology section that's in the classifications and what the purpose of it is?
This essentially just, Madam Chair to Councilman Miller, essentially outlines the type of technology that the position would require usage of: computers, copy machines, fax machines, if anybody uses a fax machine anymore. It's just basic information, outlines the type of technology that the position requires.
And you mentioned that reference to the animal shelter has been taken out of the volunteer coordinator position. Do you expect that as a result of this, that other departments might use this title and hire people into this position?
Madam Chair to Councilman, in 2019, there was a focus on volunteerism in several county departments. The hope was that this would come to fruition, and then this classification would be ready so they can post. There wouldn't be any lag time where we'd have to make that change of time, so we're kind of trying to be ahead of the curve. Again, it's to the executives' departments, whether they wish to fill those positions or have volunteer opportunities. We just complied with their request. So it would be made available if and when the time came. It has not, again, since 2019. That's when the change was made.
And Madam Chair, to Mr. Bouchenine, could you say a little bit more about the two positions that are being deleted, why they're being deleted, whether their duties no longer exist, or whether they've been incorporated into other positions, or whether there's other reasons?
Madam Chair, Councilman, there are no incumbents in these two classifications. There hasn't been some time. We reached out to the department. I reached out directly to Director Andy Johnson. And what he had said is that the duties had been absorbed by other classifications at the county, more specifically within his department.
Thank you.
Councilman?
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. Albert, nice seeing you.
Thank you.
Did you satisfy all the questions posed to you by our dedicated staff, Mr. Boyle?
I believe so, but I'm not sure if he's ever satisfied.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Madam Chairwoman.
I think he's the only one that still uses the fax machine, by the way. Councilman Conwell.
Through the chair to Albert, you stated you have one volunteer coordinator in that position right now. Which department is that in?
That's in the Department of Public Works at the County Animal Shelter out in Valley View.
Okay, and you also stated that you created this this classification for different departments. How many departments have this volunteer coordinator position?
Madam Chair to Councilwoman Conwell, none as of today. There's only one
Well,
volunteer coordinator.
how many are allotted? You stated that.
It's open to all departments. So if Department of Children and Family Services wanted to have a volunteer program and wanted to hire a volunteer coordinator, it would be open to them. If the Department of or Fiscal Office wanted to do the same, it's open to all departments.
Okay, so are there budgets set for these extra positions?
Madam Chair, Councilwoman, not that I'm aware of. It could be, but I'm not aware of that. If that becomes the case, then they would have to secure those budgets. Those budgets would then be approved by Fiscal Office, OBM, go to HR. HR would post the position, advertise for the positions, and the classification is ready for their use.
Okay, so it's just
But I'm not
ready-
aware that-
Okay, so it's just ready for their use, but not necessarily budgeted for.
Correct.
Okay. And then you mentioned, Councilman Miller brought a point too about the technology section was added. Going forward in all of the classifications that you're doing overall for the county, is this section being added to all of them? Or
Where
just-
necessary. There may be some non-bargaining classifications, very rarely, but where necessary, where positions are required to use technology in their jobs, it will be included, yes.
Okay, but not specifically everyone? Okay.
Correct.
Because today, every position needs some kind of computer skill.
Right.
Okay, thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, there are no more questions. I would ask for a motion to move this to the full body of council for second reading under suspension.
Also move.
So moved by Miller, seconded by Conwell. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bouchenine. Is there any miscellaneous business? Hearing none, I have a motion to adjourn the meeting. Second. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
There's the Tinder, right? Still doing his stuff,
Wow.
right?
He's still doing it.
Every day he still does it. Watch. It's the Tinder tonight. I'll bring him by to visit as well, right? Marty, believe it or not, I definitely want to meet him down the road with Satinder. Not everybody has the president of his fan club. Sign off. Hit that